All right, we are live. Hello, everybody. Today, we are going to talk about things that you can do at home to help prevent separation anxiety. So, first of all, what is separation anxiety? It is basically a full-blown panic attack from your dog, having intense fear and stress in regards to being left alone. It is not them doing something out of anger or out of spite. It is uncontrollable. Generally, if a dog has separation anxiety, you can see it come out in a variety of ways that can be very mild. It can be very severe. With dogs, you could see urination or defecation in the house. You know, they kind of they're so panicked that they completely lose control. You might see them destroying things in the house as mildly as, shredding a slipper, or it could be as severe as them eating through your drywall or your windowsill. You will generally have barking or howling vocalizations. You can also have beyond just the home destruction, salivation. So hypersalivation, them drooling. So you might come home and find puddles of drool. So that would be obviously a very extreme case if we are seeing all of those happen. And it's possible that your dog has never had true separation anxiety, which is great. We certainly don't want them to. But we also have to remember that right now, our schedules are changing pretty intensely. And a lot of us have gone from being out of the house, for maybe 6 hours a day to now being home 100% of the time. And so when we go back to work, our dogs might have some stress associated with it because now our schedule is changing again. So there are lots of things that you guys can be doing now while you are home with them to help make that transition back into our normal routine a little bit more easy for them to handle. And you might be able to help prevent this separation anxiety or separation stress with a few simple exercises that you guys can do now. So let's talk about that. So one of the things that you want to think about is that eventually we are not going to be with our dogs all the time like we are right now while we have stay-at-home orders and while we're social distancing. We're going to be spending more time away from them. So what we want to do now while we are home is try to find a few moments every single day that we can be away from our dogs. It could be you going for a walk by yourself. And I know that's crazy. It sounds crazy to not bring our dogs with us, but remember that that's one easy way that you can go out of the house and not take them with you so that they're left at home. If you are working from home, another thing you could do is think about what your normal routine looks like. Is your dog confined in a crate? Are they confined in an X-pen? Maybe you have a baby gate set up. Try to recreate what their normal looks like and do it now. So you don't have to do it all day while you're working, but try to find maybe a 30-minute period where you can practice that concept of, hey, I'm going to work and you're going in your normal place so that that area still becomes comfortable for them to be in. Another thing that you can do is start working on teaching either place or settle on a mat. Now, this would be if you send your dog over to a dog bed and they maintain relaxation for an extended period of time. This is helpful in dealing with separation anxiety because generally when we talk about separation stress, we're looking at dogs that can be clingy to us or that worry or have a lack of confidence when they're not with us. So we can teach them settle on a mat, teach them place, and that way they can have some confidence and reinforcement for being calm at a further distance. You could even go one step further and add in some kind of barrier. So an X-pen to help keep them in one location or a baby gate so that way they are prevented from getting to you, but they're still earning reinforcement for relaxation. Another tip that you could do would be random reinforcement of relaxation away from you. So you could put some treats in your pockets. You could even have your treat bag on your hip while you're working from home. And anytime your dog is relaxed and further away from you, you could pay him for it. Remember that anything you reward your dog for is going to happen again. And so it's a really nice and easy way to say, hey, I like when you relax independently. Let's see more of it. Another idea is to start conditioning them now with a crate or with an X pen. So again, going back to this concept of your dog's learning how to be independent from you, your dog's being reinforced for being independent. We do have a video on our YouTube channel called Puppies Learn to Love Management. And it does feature a puppy in it, but it is applicable to dogs of all ages. One thing we want to do is we want to teach them how to be relaxed when they're away from us, when they're physically prevented from getting to us. So you can do this with an X pen, you can do this with a crate, you could also do this with a baby gate. Basically, you're going to use some kind of management to help prevent them from following you. There's a little bit of confinement. And then you're going to use random reinforcement. So we're going to walk around, maybe you're folding laundry or cooking, and you're going to drop a treat to your dog for any good behavior. This could be them being quiet. It could be 4 on the floor behind your management, could be laying down on a settle mat, could be playing with toys. And all of that is going to help them figure out the right kind of behavior that we want when we confine them. And by practicing this exercise as one of your training exercises during the day, you're helping reinforce independent behavior so that once you go back to work, it's easier for your dog to do this. This is something really easy that you could tie into your normal routine. So again, if I've got some laundry to fold, hey, let's pop my dog in the crate while I fold the laundry, and I'm going to randomly drop treats to him for hanging out in his crate quietly. Another thing that I could do would be to put an X pen in the kitchen. And while I'm cooking, my dog can be hanging out in the X pen, and that's going to prevent them from coming up and being underfoot, but it's also going to give me the opportunity to randomly reinforce calm and quiet behavior. Another thing that you could do would be to use food puzzles and management to help prevent them from being right next to you, right? Help encourage a little bit of independence. Your treat puzzles or your Kongs or your bully sticks can be used not only to help reinforce that environment as it being a positive place. So maybe it's the area that they normally are X-penned in while you're at work. It's going to help continue to condition that space as a positive place for them. It's also going to reward them for calm and quiet behavior. So you won't have to drop additional treats to them. That enrichment item or that toy that you gave them is going to do the job for you. And it's really important that we find small moments throughout the day where we can practice these concepts of independence and reward that behavior so that once you go back to work, once you're back to your normal routine, it's not a complete shock for your dog. So I want you guys to think about what your normal looks like. And then you want to try to be creative about how can I find brief moments every single day to help recreate a little bit of that. And a lot of dogs are not used to being crated when their people are home. So initially it could be a little bit stressful for them and for you. Remember that you can always turn on some classical music. That's going to help reduce external noise of you being there, right? It's also going to help keep them relaxed because science has actually shown us that calm, quiet classical music does help reduce stress in dogs. So you could turn on some music to help create a little bit more of a relaxing atmosphere for them. You could also give them a safe food puzzle, so something like a frozen Kong. That way they're going into their crate, they're getting reinforced for being there, they've got a little bit of a puzzle to reduce some of that mental energy that they have, and then they're more likely to just relax afterwards. So if you have an hour conference call or you have a little bit of work you need to do, try to get your dog a little bit of exercise with a walk or some training to help tire them out. And then give them a Kong and put them in their crate. And so you're continuing to create that same routine that you're used to or your dog is used to with your current at-home social distancing. So if you guys have any questions about how you normally leave your dog when you go to work, you're welcome to comment here and we can help you guys troubleshoot on some ways to still create that independence. If you are seeing any of those severe stress signals that we were talking about at the beginning of the video, again, vocalization, urination or defecation, not wanting to eat food when they're by themselves, barking incessantly, or panicking, trying to claw out of the confinement that we give them, let us know, because that's something that we certainly could do a virtual consult with you guys on to help, because that would be a little bit more severe stress than what we would like. If your dog has a little bit of vocalization and isn't panicking, we certainly could wait them out. But remember, if they are experiencing panic, we want to console them. We don't want to let them continue to panic and spiral. So we would want to help calm them down with food puzzles, classical music, could turn a fan on for a little bit of extra white noise, just to help create a little bit more of a calming atmosphere for them. All right, guys, so I hope that those quick tips help you, nice and short and sweet. Remember that we want to find moments throughout the day to have our dogs be independent from us. We want those periods to be relaxing for them. We want to use food reinforcement and puzzles to help reward that behavior. And remember that if we are leaving our house without our dogs for something like a quick walk, we always want our arrival and departure to be no big deal. So I'm not gonna, oh, I miss you, I'll see you soon. And then when I walk in the door, oh, I missed you, it was so good to see you, right? We want to avoid getting them jazzed up because we don't want our arrival or departure to be a big deal. We want them to go, okay, you're back, no worries. So make sure that you stay nice and quiet and help promote that as you are walking in and out of the door. And help set them up for success by exercising them beforehand and offering them a food puzzle that will help increase the likelihood that they'll be able to be relaxed and calm as you leave. So I hope that this helps you. I hope you guys have some good ideas on how you can start to create a little bit of what our normal looks like while we're social distancing now. Find some time every day to help promote a little bit of independence and reward your dogs for it. And of course, if you have questions, please feel free to reach out to us. All right, everybody, short and sweet tonight. Thanks for joining us. And I hope that everybody is staying healthy while social distancing. Bye, guys.